Aloha, what's up everyone? Welcome to another episode of Omens. I'm JayDreamerZ and we're going to be talking about the crazy things that are happening around the world, look at some headlines, we're going to check out a couple of viewer submissions and even a couple of YouTube videos that have captured some really interesting things happening around the world today. First, I want to encourage everybody to go over to my Patreon. This is where I've got live chats 24/7. So if you enjoy the chat here on my channel, you can jump into one of the chats over on my Patreon. We've got free chats. We've got topical membership chats. And a new announcement, I have lowered all of my prices on Patreon to allow more people to jump into the credits and some other things. I want to show you the different tiers that I have here. I upload all kinds of videos and stuff on Patreon too. The first tier is just anonymous support. So if you're the type of person that doesn't really want any recognition, you just want to support my channel, you can jump into the tier 1 there. Tier 2 unlocks the videos and the chat. If you don't want to be in the credits or anything special, but you want to check out the chat and the videos, tier 2 unlocks that. Tier 3 is if you would like to be in the credits. That's your name is big at the end of the credits, along with everybody else. And tier 4 is the animated name in the credits. So if you want to be featured as one of the first ones in the credit and have your name animated and sort of set apart from everybody else, you can jump into that tier right there. Tier 5 is sponsorship. So this is sort of a new thing that I thought I would try out. You get to be the very first person to appear in the credits every single time. So anyone on this tier will be first, and you'll get a shout out at the beginning of the show. So I will say, I want to say thank you to my sponsors, and I'll give everybody on this tier a big shout out. Tier 6 is the Plasma Apocalypse Study Team, which is this one right here above me. This is a special tier. Only 9 seats are available in total, and these people will sit down with me once a month and we will have a video conference together. And like I said, all of the prices have been lowered and everything to allow more people to participate. But if you want to meet me, you know, in a video conference and hang out, and you know, we can ask questions, get to know one another, and you know, sort of develop some friendships between a small group of us, this is going to be the tier for you. And we also have, last but not least, what I call the Hall of Flame. This is basically the same thing as the first one if you want to show some support towards me and my work. But you want to do more than like $4, this is for you. Your name is actually going to be put onto my website permanently on a dedicated page forever. So that'll be the Hall of Flame. You just sign up one time and your name will be on my website forever as my way of saying thank you so much for you know, for just supporting my work. I also want to give a huge shout out to Karen Jepson, Karen J out there, who donated $100 through PayPal as basically an early birthday present to myself. My birthday is later this week on Sunday, and that really surprised me. And she said, you know, she wants me to have a happy Labor Day, and she's really thankful for all the value and information that I've shared with her, educating about the plasma apocalypse and stuff. So thank you, Karen, so much. That was very thoughtful. And also a big shout out to Bree. I want to say thank you so much to Bree also for her donation into PayPal as well. That was very kind of you, and I want to say thank you very much. All of you mean the world to me. It's because of you that I can continue to do these types of things. So go check out my Patreon. There's lots of videos, there's different benefits and stuff. I offer value for value all the time in all that I do. Check out the chats especially. So click right here on the chats and you can jump in. Here's the visitor chat. And these are the topical chats: Plasma Apocalypse, the Old World, Omens. So if you have some omens you want to share with one another and with me, you could just upload pictures directly into the chat right here. Vintage maps. I'm sharing all of my vintage maps in this particular chat. I got strange geology and Mandela effects as well. You can see Zafir was the last person to upload a picture to that particular chat right there. High five to you, Zafir. Good to see you. All right, cool. So thank you so much for all of your support. I love you guys. Let's jump right into the headlines and see what's going on around the world and see what kind of omens are happening. First and foremost, we've got this one. Hold on, let me check my chat just to make sure. Oh, at the end of today's show, I'm going to do a quick questions and answers segment. So if you guys have any questions, you know, write them down now, and I'll get to as many as I can towards the end of the show. And now that I think about it, I also wanted to, I'll give you guys I thought of like a new service that I wanted to offer to people, and I'm going to put it on my website as a new service as well. There's something called Cameo, where you know, celebrities and YouTubers and people like that are hard to reach, you can actually, you know, like pay them, you know, a certain amount of money, and they'll record a video, a short video for you to answer questions, to give shout outs, to say hello to certain fans or whatever. I'm going to be doing that, but it's not through Cameo. I'm just going to be doing it on my own. And if you would like to do something like that, you can request up to a 2-minute video from me if you have a question, if you want me to say hello to somebody or give you a shout out or anything like that. All you have to do is just send $20 to my PayPal, which is paypal.me/JayDreamerZ, and include in the message what you would like to ask or what you would like to have me say on my video. And I will post that video to my Patreon account right here, and we'll start a collection. I'm actually going to have like a little playlist of cameos. I'm just going to call them cameos because that's what makes the most sense to me. And I will send that to you personally as well. So, you know, if you know somebody that would like a personal shout out, or if you have a burning question you've been wanting to ask me and it's hard to get in touch with me and it's hard to reach me or anything, you can send me that PayPal and include your message in the message box. And you can also email me personally if you do that at jaydreamers.guest@gmail.com. All right, cool. Those are all of my updates for now. Oh, actually, I do have one more update. I'm bringing back Truth in Movies. We stopped doing that for a while. I was getting kind of burned out because like movies have been crap lately, but I watched one that you guys recommended to me called The Life of Chuck. How many people in the chat have seen The Life of Chuck? I don't know if you guys have seen that, but that movie inspired me to jump back into doing Truth in Movies. I don't know, someone in the chat actually recommended that. So I want to say thank you, high five to whoever recommended The Life of Chuck to me. Holy cow, the whole first 1/3 of that movie is the plasma apocalypse, and the rest of it is the Fractalverse, as I teach you guys about, right? So we're definitely going to go back to doing that probably on Sundays. All right, let me jump back into today's presentation. So this article says, study, there is less room to store carbon dioxide, a driver of climate change than previously thought. So as you all know, they're blaming mankind for all of the carbon dioxide that's been pumped into the atmosphere and all this pollution, and that's causing global warming, etc., right? Wrong. The amount of carbon dioxide that has been produced by human beings through pollution from the Industrial Revolution to today is a sliver. It's minuscule in comparison to what the Earth naturally produces all of the time. Anything that dies, any organic material that dies on the Earth will release carbon dioxide. The Earth is constantly releasing megadoses of carbon dioxide itself. So even if human beings stopped producing carbon dioxide, stopped introducing it into the atmosphere completely, it would be negligible. It wouldn't even be noticed by the Earth, okay? That's how much carbon dioxide the Earth produces by itself. I don't believe them. I believe that we live during a time where everything is upside down. It is the inverse. It is the opposite of what we've been told and what we know to be the truth. I also like to call it affectionately the season of Satan, because we live during a time where the energy is on low. The surface world where we live is low on energy, and therefore it resonates throughout the rest of the world. Morality drops, lifespans drop, toxicity increases, diseases increase, food bearing drops, fertility rates are starting to drop. The average height of people, shrinks over time, except for, there's one exception to that, which is right before the end because of this huge release of oxygen from the ocean as the oceans warm up. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out. I don't know why they have a pole vaulter right there. But they're trying to store carbon dioxide in the ground, and they said, it says right here that the world has far fewer places to securely store carbon dioxide. underground than we previously thought. Whoever we is. You see that right there? They want to store the carbon dioxide deep underground, just like your local garbage dump. They just want to bury it into the earth. The earth will just release that back up into the atmosphere anyway, and them saying that there's far fewer places to store anything underground is misleading because the earth is hollow, okay? There's an entire world under your feet. And I think there's another article that talks about this or references this, but because the earth is hollow and there is gigantism that is down there in the worlds beneath our feet, all of the plants and all of the creatures and everything down there grow to gigantic sizes. So you have to think of the inner earth growing massive mega plants for, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years for a very long time. They're storing up under the earth all of these gases, which includes carbon dioxide, nitrogen, oxygen, but especially oxygen from all of the plants releasing that, right? And eventually that will lead to the great oxidation event, even as it's taught within academics. This next article is interesting. It says scientists build quantum computer that snaps together like Legos. So supercomputers that are microscopic and snap together. They get near one another and they come together, right? Does that sound like black goo to anybody else? Does that sound like black goo to me? Because that's what I'm leaning towards as far as the whole black goo thing goes. It seems to me like it's a manifestation, a physical manifestation of AI in a liquid form where it can go from liquid form into any other form. It can build itself, just like when you watched on Terminator 2 Judgment Day, how they had the T-1000, that liquid metallic Terminator, and he could make himself into a human shape or a knife or all that stuff, right? I feel like that's what the black goo is. That's what I'm leaning towards. You guys can tell me what you think the black goo is in the comments section. I'd like to check it out, and I'd like you guys to learn from one another and toss ideas around and be philosophers. But that's what I'm leaning towards, the whole black goo thing. Now, this is another thing that you're going to see throughout the rest of these articles is, it seems to me, this is one of my theories, okay? If there is a devil, if there is a Satan or some sort of quintessential evil being or whatever, it seems to me like that spirit, that energy, the people that worship that energy, the people that serve that energy, commonly known as Satanists, are trying to manifest it to give it a physical body, or not just a physical body, but many physical bodies, right? Let's say it's energy, okay? And that energy is all throughout the surface world, and that's why we live in the season of Satan, that they're building all of these robots and black goo and AI and stuff to manifest it physically in the world. We'll come back to that one because there's a few more articles that I believe reference this. Google is bringing Gemini AI to its smart home lineup. Smart homes now, right? Oh, God, listen. They're trying to replace humanity. They're rebuilding humanity. It seems to me, I'm going to speak from my personal thoughts on this, okay? But they're turning humans into robots, and they're turning robots into humans, right? It's like they're trying to rebuild the human race, actually build it as an organism, as a living organism. They're trying to figure out how to create humans, how to recreate humans, not just humans as we are today, but a perfected state, or a perceived perfected state, right? And this is just amazing to me that the humans are literally becoming the robots, which, if you look up the word robot, means slave. And I think we all can admit that mankind has become a form of slavery everywhere, right? Oh, hold on. Do I need those lights? Yeah, I'll turn them on. Why not? But yeah, they're trying to build all of these humanoid robots to replace the entire world's population. They're going to build one for every human that's on Earth right now, just like a smartphone, just like they did with automobiles and things, right? But smart homes sounds terrible. This is science fiction coming to life. All of these smart gadgets, all of your new robots and things like that, they're going to turn on humanity. Okay, they're going to become dysfunctional. They're not going to serve, they're not going to listen to their masters whenever the atmosphere is electrically amplified and they're just on and you can't turn them off. And it's basically the robot rebellion, right? But this smart home idea, this has been shown to us in the movies as well, where your smart homes just start acting on their own. Your smart cars just start driving on their own. There's a whole movie about that called Maximum Overdrive, which to me is just as prophetic as 1984 or A Brave New World or anything like that. Did I just get a donation? Hold on, I did. Let me, who was that? Laura Hughes, $1.99 in the chat. She says, I think you're exactly right. Thank you, Laura. High five to you. Thanks for the support. All right, let's continue on. We talked about black goo. We talked about the robots. Well, we're going to keep touching on the robots here in a minute. This article says Tesla just published a new master plan. And check this out. So Tesla's producing this master plan. Hold on, I thought I had something highlighted here. Oh, here it is. So it says here, we are building the products and services that bring AI into the physical world. We are building the products and services that bring AI into the physical world. It's speaking like it's talking about the devil. You know, I'm not trying to be religious or anything. I'm just saying if there is a good energy that exists and there is a bad energy that exists, however you want to call those or label those, you know, it's energy. So they're trying to build them and bring them into the physical world instead of them just being ambient electrical or electromagnetic forces or positive or negative. They're trying to give them a place in our world to live amongst us, right? I'm just saying, it seems like they're building an army for the devil. I don't know how else to say that. An army for Satan, you know what I mean? Like, or a body for, you know, some evil force. I don't know, demons. I don't know how to describe it. Like, the more I learn, the more I see a lot of truth in, you know, that's contained within the different world's religious systems. Not that I agree with religion itself as a system of indoctrination and slavery and stuff, but I do believe in good and evil. I do believe in positive and negative. We are building the products and services that bring AI from the invisible world, right, into the physical world. God, that's like they're just straight up telling you, and you guys don't vote on that. You have no say. You have no place. They're just going to do it. Oh, okay. I almost never talk about this subject. Okay, so you're in for a rare treat. Okay, and everyone's weird when they talk about this too, right? Because we all know it's like off limits. But this article here says, hold on, let me see if I can match this up. Colorado issues orders. They're ordering. You have to do this. Orders that allow people to get a COVID vaccination this year without a prescription. That's news to me. I didn't even know you needed a prescription. I thought you just like go get the vaccination or whatever, right? I'm not going to say the jab and all that stuff. Listen, let me tell you something, okay? I'm talking to YouTubers right now, all right? All you people who have social media and you're trying to trick the algorithm, right? By saying jab or all this stuff. You're not tricking it. And if you are, you're only tricking it temporarily because it's intelligent enough to know what you mean, okay? If all the stupid humans on Earth know what you mean, don't you think that the AI, like all these devices that are clearly more intellectual or smart, more intellectual than like your average human being, because your average human being is pretty dumb these days, don't you think that they can pick up on all your code words? You know what I mean? Like unalive. They unalived. Like AI can't figure out what that means. What are you doing? You know what I mean? You're just and some people will just straight up tell you their code words on the live. Gumby Pokey, what's up, dude? Hold on, who was that? Who's Gumby Pokey? Is that a subscriber? I think so. High five, Gumby Pokey. Thanks for subscribing. All right, let's get back to it. I don't know. Evie, my friend Evie, she used to, I don't know if she still does YouTube, but we met each other through YouTube, and she actually posted something the other day about this new lingo, man. It's like 1984. In the book 1984, which is our world today, they have a new language in the future. It's called newspeak, right? It's basically a new form of slang that came about through extreme political correctness and people being careful about other people's feelings and stuff. So it turned into a brand new language. They actually have a dictionary in the back of the book, 1984, so that you can reference all these weird words that they have that they use in the future that people back in, you know, the 1984 times or whatever wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand these unless you read it. It's called newspeak. We're in that era now. Newspeak. All right, I'm off the beaten path. Let's get back to it. Let's see. What was this? Oh yeah. So you don't need a prescription now. This is crazy. This is crap. Can I just say that? I'm just gonna say that. Fuck it. It's just fucking crap. Okay. Listen. Like I said, the world is upside down right now. All right. The government does not do anything for free. They're not doing things for you. They tax you, which is, it's not even theft. You have to have money taken away from you in order to be robbed. Taxes aren't even your money that you don't even get that money. Okay. It's not even on your paycheck. Okay. They just lie to you about your wages and they call it taxes. And then they just keep it, okay? They never give it to you to take it away. Sometimes they do during tax season or whatever. I don't want to get into semantics, all right? But what I'm saying is the government does not have your best interest at heart, from my perspective, okay? That's my walk. It's very limited. I haven't been everywhere and done everything, but from my two eyes, looking around and experiencing things in this world, the mind control agents, which is the mentality, right? To govern your mentality, mind control, same thing. They experiment on you. They are cloning you in deep underground facilities to repopulate the, you know, post-cataclysmic world with more slaves, because they're the ones who are going to try to survive because they understand and study the plasma apocalypse, as I try to share with everyone too. And when they emerge, they want to, you know, create baby booms and stuff to create more slaves, aka robots. Where was I going? I'm getting off topic here. Oh yeah, so if you go like grocery stores and they're like, free groceries if you do this, I would be suspicious at the very least, okay? This is highly suspicious that they're giving away all this free stuff. Plus, right around wintertime, it doesn't even make sense. They're like, it's cold season. You're gonna catch the cold. Why? Because it's cold outside. Like, we live in idiocracy. It's cold outside, therefore you're going to catch a cold. That's not how that works, okay? Most diseases don't really thrive in cold environments. It's just like, where does this come from even? Oh, there's different strands of colds. And it's like, none of this is making any sense, man. But hey, you do what you want to do. And I'm staying away from all of it. Next up, we got this article that says, stressed ice generates electricity. Ice generates electricity when it gets stressed in a very specific way, new research suggests. One, I wanted to take a picture of this and just show you guys, because this is symbolic and an omen of the dome that I believe is made of ice above our world, and how there's plasma, aka the plasmasphere, that wraps around the Earth or whatever within the academic model. This is the plasma that hits the dome. The light passes through that lens and we get the focal point of the sun and the luminaries and the planets and stars and stuff, right? But the rest of the plasma wraps around that ice and spins around it. So this is really interesting to me that they're talking about how ice can actually generate electricity when it's stressed. I also generate electricity when I'm stressed. I don't know how you guys are, but some of us have very powerful spirits, and you can actually affect the weather, you know, and other things too. All right. But you can sense things like whenever you get really stressed or upset or just really emotional, some of you out there will notice that out of nowhere the weather changes, right? That's a little side point. All right, next up, why do we need sleep? Oxford scientists trace the answer to mitochondria. Now, the mitochondria thing is interesting, and I think it might actually be related to the Fractalverse. If you guys have studied my theory of what I call the Fractalverse, which is the greater cosmos, which is fractal in nature and holographic in nature, it's self-repeating as you go up and out past the dome, but also as you retreat into our very own brains, our very own minds, which have cosmos within them, okay? And this is one of those little local branches of your cosmos in your mind, where there are creatures and beings and histories and all kinds of things happening, created by your thoughts, essentially, right? And these affect you, and you affect these. But aside from that, why do we need sleep? I don't care what they're going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I believe is the truth of why you need sleep. Like I said, the energy is being charged on the surface down into the heart of the earth. It goes back and forth between a charging of the energy, which means a loss of energy up here on the surface, and a release of energy and a sharing of that energy, which means it comes up to the surface through geoplasmas every other cycle. So up here on the surface, when we are losing energy and the earth is charging it down into the hollow portion, down into the smoky god or the black sun that's down in the middle of the hollow earth, we lose energy. Okay, so that is why you need sleep. You are recharging, kind of like a machine. That's an interesting connection and something to think about. But that's also why you eat. That's why we have this hunger, which is a symptom of the times that we live in. When a person lives, or an animal, or a living being or whatever, when it lives during a time up here on the surface when the atmosphere is electromagnetically amplified, you don't have hunger. Hunger is your body trying to tell you you need energy. Go get it and chew it up with your rocks in your mouth and swallow it and put it into the vat of acid inside of your body and all of these things so that you can take energy from other living things, which is how it is during this cycle, the season of Satan, where we eat other living things and we are all consumers and predators. And you know what I mean? Like, that's the season we live in. That's the time that we live in. The time that is to come and the time that we just left is the golden age, whenever the atmosphere is electrically amplified, and therefore so is your body. You are charged all of the time, depending on how close you are to places of power around the world, especially if you live in the Garden of Eden, Hyperborea at the North Pole. You don't need to eat. You will not need to sleep. You will not get tired. Okay? Diseases will be eradicated. There are so many positive consequences, so many positive effects and reasons to look forward to the apocalypse, specifically after it's all over and done with, right? Because the world becomes a beautiful place. The world is reset. That is the Great Reset. Right? The world changes for the better. All the toxicity and negativity and terrible things that we are experiencing in this world now are all but gone. They are replaced as our world is full of positive things. So if you know people that are like, oh, you talk about the apocalypse and that's bad and that's negative and you're a bummer or whatever, tell them you're an apocalyptimist and share with them all of the many reasons why you look forward to the world becoming a better place, and ask them, wouldn't you look forward to the world becoming a better place? They'll say, well, so many people have to die. Okay. A lot of those people are probably bad. Like, if the world is a bad place, I mean, come on, you could look around the world right now and see that people are really psychotic. People are crazy. People are base. People are sick. People are toxic. People are liars. People, you get the point, okay? You guys have your own experiences. That's in general, and from a limited perspective of myself, okay? I've seen the world change drastically since I was a child. Anyways, let's move on. Oh, Will Smith. Okay, check this out. Will Smith is my own little omen of the apocalypse, me personally, okay? He's also a Mandela effect for me, right? I feel like when I saw Will Smith, like, he was the epitome of, like, everything pure and fun and innocent and all that type of stuff. And next thing I know, he's, like, slapping people and representing violence. And now he's, like, he's doing these corny rap albums where he's saying he likes pretty girls, and it's really close to, like, that whole Hollywood weird pizza vibe. You know what I mean? Like, something's not right here, man. And it's like, I don't know. Like, to me, that was, I don't have a lot on this. I'm just saying this is my own personal thing. Okay. Like, something's wrong with the world. Like, and Will Smith is, like, a part of that. I don't know. I wanted to mention that because it's my own deal. Anyways, oh, check this article out. The Earth's rotation is slowing, and it might explain why we have oxygen. No, I can tell you exactly what. I already told you why we have oxygen. It's all the plants inside of the Earth that are releasing oxygen, gigantic ones, and they've been thriving down there for a very long time. So yeah, the Earth's slowing down. The Earth's not even moving. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Okay. I don't feel it. Is it moving? No, it's not moving at all. Okay. It's not spinning around. It's not moving. The luminaries are moving. The air in this closed system is moving about and stuff. People can move about. The Earth is solid. It's dependable. It's represented by a square. Okay. Circles are wheels and they move. Squares, you don't put squares, they don't move around. They're solid. Cubes, you know what I mean? The Earth's rotation is slowing. Didn't we just read an article that said the Earth's rotation is speeding up? What's up with this weird globular, according to Neil deGrasse Tyson, pear-shaped, glob Earth that spins and tilts and wobbles and flies through space? And it speeds up, and then it slows down. No. Something's wrong with it. I'm going to tell you what's happening right now. They're trying to confuse you and distract you because the days are being shortened. You live during the shortening of the days, which is one of the prophecies of the end of times, or the end of days, I should say. This article right here says why you should never drink that plastic water bottle that's left in your car. Now, a lot of people have reached out to me about this, specifically concerned about microplastics. This says studies show that the heat and UV exposure cause plastic bottles to shed billions of microscopic fragments, which end up in your drink. Forget about, listen, I'm going to go a step further. Forget about, like, oh, you're going to drink microplastics and then that's toxic. That'll be in your body or whatever. You are what you eat. Remember earlier I was trying to say that they're taking the robots and making them more human. They're taking the humans and making them plastic. They're making the humans robotic, like with heavy metals and plastic. These are things robots are made out of. You know what I mean? Like, all this plastic that's getting into your skin and your body and stuff, it's amazing. Like, they're pulling a switcheroo between humanity and robots right now. This is mind-blowing to me. And I feel like robots are just empty vessels. They're bodies. So there needs to be a spirit. If they're prepping empty bodies or vessels to be inhabited, who do you think they are, trying to call upon to inhabit this massive robot army? Pardon me. Oh, my son had a cold and stuff. Now I'm kind of picking it up. All right. Oh, check this one out. A cannibal solar storm could trigger auroras on Earth. My own personal view on this is that the sun, the point of focus, is under the dome. It's nearby. It doesn't go solar flares and they take 8 days to reach the Earth or whatever the story is. The light pretty much gets here instantaneously from the focal point, right? I believe that the Earth is what causes the quote-unquote solar flares or disrupts the geomagnetic activity. That's why it's called geomagnetic, because it's from the Earth. But the omen here is... Hold on, let me check my chat. Okay, sweet. Everybody's good? Alright, sweet. Alright, so check this out. Oh, I better pause that video. Alright, so the omen here is Cannibal Solar Storm. So the next apocalyptic cycle, as I talk about, one is by water, which is the deluge, which is the worldwide flood, which gave us our oceans, which means that the ocean is proof that the world was once flooded. Why? Because the world is still flooded. That flood water, known as the oceans, will be removed one day. It must be, because the oceans are becoming acidic. They're becoming toxic. They're becoming full of harmful algal blooms. They're releasing the most important gas that contributes to life in the ocean, which is oxygen, because they're heating up. And when water heats up, it releases its oxygen, right? So the oceans are becoming a bad thing in this world. So Mother Nature, God, however you wish, will get rid of the oceans. And in the time to come, there will be no oceans. And we won't really need the oceans or anything. And people will go back to living by the laws of the land, which is live however you want, but keep in mind others can live however they want, instead of maritime law, instead of the laws of the ocean. All right? But the next apocalyptic cycle comes from the sun. Okay? It comes from heat. It comes from fire from the sky, fire from above, heavenly fire that comes down and sets things on fire here on Earth. And the days are getting hotter and hotter and hotter as the sun gets brighter and brighter and brighter, and microwaves. I went swimming. I took my son swimming over at my mom's apartment the other day, and I asked my mom, do you think the sun is getting hotter? Do you think the sun has changed colors since the 70s? She's like, oh my God, yes. The sun used to be yellow, and now it's like, I can't even look at it. Like, I used to be able to look at the sun, you know, and stuff. You know I shouldn't stare at it, but I used to be able to look at it. Shout out to my mom. High five, Mom. High five. But, and she's like, I can't stay out in it as long as I used to. It's incredible. Anyways, beware of the sun, okay? It's getting hotter. It's going to continue to get hotter as what we call daylight becomes less and less, the shortening of the days, more focused, and therefore it's going to start burning stuff. Next up, this is supposed to be Mars, I believe, right? Some ancient asteroid slamming into Mars 1 billion years ago. Let's see what it says. Dozens of mysterious blobs. Oh yeah, remember I said to watch out for this word? Right? This is one of those code words that they've been using to talk about plasma, right? Dozens of mysterious blobs discovered inside Mars. Wow, that's amazing. 2 million miles away, no human has ever been there, and they have discovered blobs inside of Mars. Maybe the remnants of failed planets. They're discovering stuff inside of Mars from 2 million miles away, and no one's even there. Isn't that just miraculous? Mars quakes. Quakes on Mars. Mars quake data collected by NASA's InSight lander. So they have landed a car on Mars, a remote control car, and they just drive it around. You know, it sends back 4K video. They also have a helicopter. They have a drone. They could just fly that around on Mars. Try that anywhere on Earth, and let me know how it goes. I want you to be in Canada, and I want you to remote control a drone in Australia. And just let me know how that goes. And then multiply that by, 2 million miles away. Marsquake data collected by NASA lander revealed dozens of mysterious blobs within the red planet's mantle. They know exactly what that planet is even made of, too. The structure, this blows. All of this whole story is fiction to me. The structures may have been left by powerful impacts up to 4.5 exactly billion years ago. Powerful impacts may have been left by the spaghetti monster as well. May not. But you can say anything when you say may have, when you're being speculative. But this is amazing. 4.5 billion years ago. How do they even know there was a 4.5 billion years ago? Carbon dating! Don't you know about carbon dating? Yes. And carbon, right, as it gets older and stuff, it depends upon the atmosphere, really. It depends upon pressure, and it depends upon all kinds of changing circumstances in our world. right? They might be able to figure out how fast carbon falls apart, or whatever the technical term is, in the conditions as they are now. But our conditions in this world are constantly fluctuating and constantly changing. Nothing is static. It seems like it's static because you're in it like a frog in a pot, and the temperature's slowly increasing, and the frog doesn't realize it, right? Anyways, I thought that was funny. Let's check out the next one here. When is the next blood moon total lunar eclipse visible from North America? This article asks. September 7th. The total lunar eclipse will be on September 7th. Now, I think that's interesting. That obviously for me personally, because that's my birthday. All right. I was born on 9/7/79, which is also a palindrome, which is interesting too. I've got all kinds of interesting, like, personal synchronicities that happen. But yeah, September 7th, on my birthday, there will be a blood moon total lunar eclipse. You know how long that's going to last for? Think about this. Solar eclipses last for like up to 7 minutes, which is still a really long time for the moon to just fly past in front of the sun, right? And it's weird because there's like this discrepancy. Sometimes during a solar eclipse, the moon would just, whoosh, it takes like 1 minute, 2 minutes to like go in front of the sun and block it. Other times it takes 7.5 minutes. What is happening there? I really don't want your scientific explanations. It's a rhetorical question. Anyways, this lunar eclipse is going to last like 90 minutes, right? That's amazing. And they call it the blood moon. This is an omen, okay? All these names of the moons and all the stuff that's happening with the moon, it's symbolic. I mean, it's true on different levels, but let me tell you the reality of a blue moon and a blood moon, or a red moon, okay? There is a quintessential historic, forgotten historic, or ancient oblivion root to the blood moon and to the blue moon. There are two types of moons that happen during the two different apocalyptic cycles. The blood moon, there is only one. There is no, they're calling this blood moon. It's not a blood moon, okay? You see that? That's not a blood moon. That's an eclipse, all right? There is a time up here on the surface when the moon itself will turn bloody frickin' red, not rusty orange, red. And it has nothing to do with atmospheric phenomenon or volcano ash or anything like that. It has to do with the apocalypse. It's the same reason why the sun turns red during that same cycle. The other cycle is the sun turns blue. That's the cycle we're going into now. The moon will also turn blue. It only happens once during that entire age, okay? And it won't happen again because it flips back and forth between a red moon during the final moments of one apocalyptic cycle and a blue moon during the final moments of the other apocalyptic cycle. The red moon is gigantic. It's huge. So is the sun. And the light is more diffuse and colder. And that leads to Fimbulvinter, which is the great winter within Norse mythology. The blue sun and the blue moon only happen every other cycle after that, right? This is where the expression once in a blue moon comes from. That means it's an extremely long time before that will ever happen again. They will say, oh, it's a blue corn moon this month, you know, the third one of the year or whatever. That is not a real blue moon. And it's not even blue. They're just calling it that half the time, okay? I don't care what kind of atmospheric phenomena, even eclipses, okay? These are omens. These are symbolic. These are little glimpses into what is going to come. And this is why people were terrified of eclipses and all this type of stuff, all right? The moon will turn blue during this upcoming apocalyptic event that I believe is on the way. The sun will also turn blue as they get brighter and brighter and they change their color spectrum as their color spectrum shifts, and they'll get smaller too. Okay, so that I don't know if you guys have noticed, the moon is getting smaller and smaller. The sun, it's hard to tell because it's so damn bright, but it's also getting smaller and smaller. The age that we just left, the moon will, before that apocalyptic cycle that came before us, right before their cataclysm, the moon got bigger and bigger and looked like it was probably crashing down to the earth or something, and so did the sun. Because it was bigger, it gave off more of a diffuse light. It became more a red color spectrum, right? The colder light will be more of a red color spectrum. Hotter light will be more of a blue color spectrum. Anyways, so that's the symbolism behind that. But I want to point something out, okay? This has always just boggled my mind. I'm boggled. For anyone that's ever watched a lunar eclipse, I don't care, honestly, about the... I don't believe their story, first and foremost. I don't believe that this is the Earth's shadow. The Earth is way bigger than the moon and the sun, okay? Because both of them are in the Earth's, under the dome, in our atmosphere. From my perspective and research and everything else. Common sense. Anyways, here's the moon, and watch the shadow. The shadow will come up from one direction, right? As you can see, like it's coming whoosh, perpendicular straight up right here. So it's going that way, right? So you would think that if this is like the Earth's shadow, it would like continue in one direction and just keep on going, right? So this part down here should get light first, and then it should just keep going that way. But if we watch the cycle, the shadow is going upwards in that direction. But if we go to the end of the cycle, the shadow leaves in a different direction, going this way. You see that? I don't know. That's interesting to me. I'll tell you that. I definitely... Oh, and why is it red even, right? You know what academics will tell you? That the light... Okay, so here's the sun, right? And the moon's in the middle. Or no, the Earth is in the middle, and the moon's over here or whatever. I don't know. However it works. I don't even want to... I don't remember at the moment, honestly. But here's why they say that the moon is red. It's because the light... The Earth is blocking the light, right? And that the light bends around the Earth and gives you red light. That's simply put. I'm super simplifying that, but that's basically the explanation. That's amazing to me. I don't know. Like, all of the academic explanations for these types of things don't make any sense to me. All of the ancient cosmological views do. Now let's switch gears and go over to World of Signs. They have shared a new video with us, and I'm going to skip through some of it, and I want to comment on some of these things that they have shared. I want to say high five to World of Signs. Currently have 188,000 subscribers. I am subscribed to them, and I highly recommend their channel if you do like Omens of the Apocalypse. Let's check this out. This is on fast forward, by the way, okay? See all those different volcanoes erupting in different places? We have a massive amount of huge volcanic eruptions, more and more and more as time goes forward. Why? Because those inner Earth gases are being released in mass. And whenever we have more volcanic eruptions, we have more particulates that are rising up into the atmosphere, right? Particulates can be, you know, sand from sandstorms. It can be ash from volcanoes. It can be pollution. It can be chemtrails. It can be all of that, right? Particulates. This is what causes it to rain. So we should have a direct correlation between more volcanoes erupting and more particulates in the air, and therefore massive storms, bigger storms, more rain dropping, and therefore more floods being introduced, and therefore more mudslides, and the earth cracking open, and potholes, and all that type of stuff, right? And this, in the wintertime, what this means is stronger storm systems, right? Blizzards that come in hard and dump massive amounts of snow. But keep in mind, because the sun itself, the focal point, is getting hotter and hotter, the winters should, if I'm correct, bring in harder storms, colder storms, bigger storms with more snow and ice and stuff, but then they should go away quicker. And our winters should actually get shorter and shorter and shorter, but more and more powerful. You know, which is my theory. So here we have gigantic storm systems just dumping massive amounts of water. One of my subscribers sent me a red rainbow. I'll share that with you guys here in a minute. Massive amounts of tornadoes, water spouts like you've never seen before. Weird atmospheric phenomenon, upside down rainbows, strange rainbow clouds in the sky. The earth cracking open, gigantic earthquakes, liquefaction. The earth is is in turmoil, right? See all the flooding that's happening in India. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to point out in this video? No, I think that was pretty much it. Hey, high five. Thank you so much, World of Signs. I'm honored to have you as a part of the channel. Now, this is the red rainbow that I was telling you about. So if you go to my posts section on YouTube on my main channel, just click on posts and you can find the link to share your omens with me personally. Or you can go to my Patreon and you can just upload your omens in my my members chat for the omens topic. But anyways, check out this red rainbow. See that? How it's all red everywhere? This is in Germany, I believe. Here's another view from the same person took this one. Let me scooch it over a little bit. Look at that. Look at the whole sky and these red rainbows and stuff. Now, this was also sent to me by one of my subscribers, where I guess different pigs, they're cutting them open and they're seeing that their skin is blue. Their flesh, their muscle tissue and stuff is blue on the inside. This is pretty interesting. I don't know what to make of this. Honestly, I just wanted to share this because it was shared with me. But that's disgusting, right? Like, I had cut pork out of my diet a long time ago. It took a long time to sort of walk away from bacon, I'll be honest. But all the other kinds of pork, I did a study on pigs. Right? I wanted to know why the Old Testament said don't eat pork. Like, what's the problem? When I studied pigs, I learned that their cloven hooves, right? You know how they have like 2 toes at the bottom? They don't sweat. All that toxic, nasty stuff that we sweat out, that a pig should sweat out, they don't sweat it out. It comes out from between their hooves in this secretion, in this goo, and they walk around in pig pens and they just release nasty toxic goo from their feet, which they walk around in, and then their food just falls into that same goo and then they eat it. So they eat their own toxic nastiness, and it's just this cycle. It's disgusting. Not only that, but there are so many different types of worms that live inside of pigs or pork or bacon, or however you want to say it. And not only that, but some people are like, yeah, but when you cook it, the worms die. Not true. There are many different kinds of worms that can survive a frying pan. I looked it up. I researched it, and that motivated me. Like, there's truth in some of these ancient commandments, you know, stay away from certain animals or whatever. Giant bugs in the ocean, crustaceans, arthropods, freaking graboids and stuff like that live in the ocean. But hey, you want seafood and all that stuff, that's on you. I think that's it. Hey, if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna jump right into the chat real quick. I want to do a questions and answers and just be a part of, you know, make things a little more personal. So let me jump into the chat, see if anybody has any comments or questions for me. And I'll put your comment on the screen if I see it. And if you type in @JayDreamerZ, it actually highlights on my side. Let me see if I can show you guys what it looks like on my side. Hold on, let me change my background here. Let's see, I'm going to change the background so that you can see what it looks like. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Is this it? Yeah, that's the chat. All right, so that's my chat on my screen. You see how it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs actually typed in @JayDreamerZ, and see how it's orange? It's got my name highlighted. That's what it looks like on my screen. So when you guys use that @ symbol, you actually will get my attention better than just trying to ask a question or whatever. All right, cool. I'm going to get rid of that. Pow. All right, cool. Now let me actually jump back into my chat. And it's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, speaking of her, says, JayDreamerZ, I really like that video that you did at the store in Colorado Springs the other day. I'm going to have to check that place out. Yes, so occasionally I like to do some just homegrown, taking my cell phone and sharing, you know, live streaming or whatever with you guys. I was in this metaphysical store, and I was breaking down the symbolism of all the things that are typically found within these metaphysical stores. And my son was there and stuff. He's in the video too. Calix, what's up, Calix? Hey, good to see you in the Good Vibe Tribe. Let me see who else we got in the chat. We got Lex138. says, JayDreamerZ, happy birthday. You're turning 35. Did you watch the series Lost? I watched all of it except for the last few episodes. I got busy in life, but Lost was one of my favorite TV shows ever. That's a really good one. And thank you for saying happy birthday. Just to clarify, because you know people hear birthday and they think it's my birthday today or something. My birthday is on Sunday, okay? And I will be 46 years old. That blows my mind. I'm just gonna I don't know how you guys feel, and it doesn't matter what other people think about how I look or whatever, but damn, I feel like I'm turning 30 or something, you know, not 46. This is mind-blowing to me. Thank you so much for you guys' birthday wishes. And hold on, I see people becoming members and stuff. We got Mattology in the chat who says, what's up? High five to you, Mattology. Hey, my bro's in the chat. Straight Jacket White Rabbit. I haven't seen your new video yet, bro. I'm sorry. I've been going through some court stuff with custody and all that this week. But I will check it out tonight. I promise I will be watching that. And I recommend everybody go check out my brother and his videos. A lot of people are telling me that they really like, he's getting his own following. You know, I don't even have to really shout him out all the time. A lot of people are starting to check out his stuff and share his videos. So he's got some good insight into conspiracies and fringe theories and alternative realities and AI and all kinds of cool stuff. I think his last video was about giants, if I remember correctly. What did that make make reptilians great again? I love it. Nice. Welsh Truth Seeker says the bell pepper video was fire. Yeah, that's whenever I told you guys to tell me where to go eat, and we just settled on the vegetable aisle at the store, and I showed you all those tomatoes that have freaking fingernail marks in them. You guys see that when you go shopping? I don't even buy any of those tomatoes anymore. I'll go buy ones in packages. I don't care if there's microplastics or whatever. I'd rather eat microplastics than somebody's nasty fingernail sludge that they've injected into my tomatoes because these disgusting people don't know how to like groom themselves. They're over there handling it all and putting it back. So gross. Let's see who else we got in the chat. Oh, my chat is skipping. Oh, I got a donation from a couple people. Hold on, let me catch up here. Thank you so much, Calix, who hooked up an early birthday donation in the chat. Appreciate you, Calix. Angel Wings became a member. She's been a member actually for 45 months. I'm so honored. I'm so honored to have people like that have been a part of my path for so long. Let's see, who else we got? Experimental Elemental, I see you in the chat. Good to see you. Lua Martinez, Eric Koff, Benjamin Anthony. What is my secret to looking young? I don't know. I don't even work out. To quote Andre the Giant. No, that's not true. I do work out. But it's time is shortening, okay? I'm not actually 46. What did I say? I forget how old I'm going to be now. But anyways, that's not how old we actually are, okay? We're getting more and more birthdays in shorter amounts of time. This is happening to everybody. Susie Flat hooked up a super chat sticker and early birthday donation. I appreciate it. If you guys ever do want to donate as well directly to me and you want to send something to my PayPal, I think I have a link in the description. You can send me a personal message and stuff too, and I get that instantly, and I keep all of the money as well. Most of it, like 98% of it. But thank you so much, Susie Flat. That was very, very thoughtful. I appreciate you. Experimental says, have a fabulous birthday. Thank you. Mattology is a subscriber over at my brother's channel. MK Crumpy, or M Crumpy, says, JayDreamerZ, I had a vision during a seizure 21 years ago, and it was about a red, dark sky and a world storm. Ophanim and dust covering the ground. Didn't know any of this until a few years ago. Damn, well, you were dreaming about the plasma apocalypse. For sure. What else we got? Commander Hector is in the chat. Good to see you. Sharon Bostock, good to see you. There's my brother's channel, in case you guys want to go check that out. Tim is in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ, we've had real purple skies in Northumberland, the UK. Happy birthday, brother. Thank you so much, Tim. What else we got? We got Louis Martinez says, has been hitting that fountain of youth water. Yeah, buddy, you know it. What's up, Commander Hector? I'm good. Good to see you. Kathy Reed says, JayDreamerZ, 46. You have a young, kind heart and spirit. I turned 57 in July. Well, happy. You don't look 57 either. I see a little picture. Yeah, happy birthday to you too, Kathy Reed, or happy belated birthday. Who else? Who else is in the chat? Namer. I forgot how to say your new name. I'm so sorry. I'm just going to call you Namer. Sorry. Happy birthday, says Namer. All right. A flame within the flame gave me a super chat, early birthday donation, thank you, and says, thank you, Jay, bro. I wonder if the algae in southern Australia will make people zombies. I'll be happy to share my thoughts on that. They might get a sea fungi issue. I had a dream, mermen, but zombies, and it was hectic. So I talk about this quite often, as it's especially important as one of the major omens of the upcoming apocalyptic cycle, which is the oceans changing color. Water across the world, lakes, rivers, oceans, everything changing color due to this algae, right? And that algae releases neurotoxins that can literally change people's minds and make them in a zombie-like state, agitating them, making them more violent and prone to violence, causing hallucinations and to see things and stuff like that. So yes, I think that you're onto something with that. Bro, you have done K-Packs. I have not done K-Packs, but you know what? We're here, bro. Like, that's a good one. I'll think about that one. The honey of the sacred bees? I'm not sure what you're asking, but it's a byproduct of plasma. JayDreamerZ, time is speeding up. You are a young but wise man in the scheme of things. Thank you. Much support to you and your family. Hey, thank you, KT. Let's see. We got M. Crumpy says, yeah, and I kept getting shocked by the ophanim in the vision. I don't know if do you know I did a whole video on the whole ophanim? Like the wheels and Ezekiel's wheels and all that. I did a whole video on that. It's in the Plasma Apocalypse playlist. Kathy Reed says, thank you so much. You're super welcome. Level 46, how much XP is that? It's like 1 million. Pretty sure. Plus all my past lives. I've got about 1 million XP right now. Yeah, Wormwood. Wormwood. Very good. Very similar to the oceans turning sour or acidic and disgusting. Let's see. Amber Hill has a good question. What do you tell your son as a parent about all of this? I tell him the same thing I'm telling you. Right? I'm honest. And I teach him that these are my perspectives, and these are why these are my perspectives, because these were the majority beliefs across time when you go all the way back to the deluge, I believe. I've found a lot of evidence to support that. These are the oral traditions and the ancient histories and the forgotten histories of our world. And I tell him these are the things I have found when I study. I have questions, so I search them out. I study. I go looking for the things I'm interested in, and I encourage him to do the same. And I just tell him, you know, you can find even greater things than what I found. And you don't have to, you know, believe your dad or anything, but I'm going to share my path with you. And if it resonates, sweet. That's what I tell him. Kathy Reed says, do you think there are more good people or bad people in the world right now? Bad, simply put. I'm missing a lot. Jason Garcia says, happy birthday. Thank you. Ryan H says, JayDreamerZ, I'd love to see you cover some Resident Evil movies. I'll keep that in mind. Retribution. Okay. Yeah. We're getting back into truth in movies this Sunday. Welsh says, JayDreamerZ, The Secret of the Ooze, truth in movies. I almost did that one. Damn, I might do that one. M. Crumpy, I looked for the word ophanim and I saw that there was a video on it. Yes. Sweet. All right, cool. I'm glad you found that. Sep. What's up, Sep? Says JayDreamerZ. Autumn arriving early here in Michigan. Colors in the trees are already beginning to change. Yes. So all of the seasons are shifting and changing with these changing times, I believe. Let's see. I'm catching up in the chat. I already gave that person a shout out. Okay, sweet. I'm just catching up to see if there's anything else. Oh, Tully! No, are you serious? You sent me a donation? Thank you. That was very kind of you, Tully. I literally just now got the notification from PayPal. High five to Jeffrey H for the PayPal early birthday donation, $21. You guys are super making my day, honestly, because I'm poor. So that's very helpful. Thank you so much. Especially after having to pay court fees. I don't know if you guys have ever been to court, but if you want to file something with the court, it's very expensive. And if you want to file multiple paperwork, especially in custody battles and stuff, it's very expensive. So I literally was broke yesterday. You know, I'm not doing any sob story in the smallest violin or anything like that. I'm just being honest, okay? I make enough to survive, and I'm content, and I'm happy with that, and I'm thankful. Oh, thank you, M. Crumpy. Sharon Bostock says, JayDreamerZ, have you ever thought of doing call-ins after your presentations for questions and answers, or just talking about what the presentation was about? I have thought about that, and I'll keep thinking about that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do with the whole call-in segment. I've done a lot of experiments and stuff, you know? I'm still trying to think of a way to perfect it, I guess, you know? But I'm gonna think about that. Thank you, Sharon. A lot of people really love the call-ins. I need to like keep the call-in. Anyways, I'm gonna give it more thought. Tully, what's up, Tully? Salute. Choo 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 choo. Anybody else in the chat? I think that's it. All right, cool. Well, hey, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. I'm gonna close out my chat for today. Go check out my Patreon. It's the spot. It's the place. I'm uploading all kinds of fun things, and I'm going to be doing all kinds more stuff and focusing on Patreon now that I'm done with all my court stuff that I had to do. And I'm actually literally going to jump on Patreon right after this show to check people's messages and check the chats and, you know, see if there's any new videos or anything that I'm going to be uploading to Patreon. I might even start doing some live streams from Patreon. You never know. But anyways, I got the new updated credits. If you want to be in these credits and support my work and have your name emblazoned upon each video of the month, jump into my Patreon and now I'm there. Oh, hold up. That was a last minute donation and I want to say thank you. I just got rid of my chat. I can't put it on the screen. My chat is going crazy. Oh, $40. Thank you. Happy birthday, Jay. Love you. And sorry for the silly pun. Sorry, not sorry. When the skies go electric and the world flickers, just lay low and Yoda best you can. You're cute. Thank you so much, man. Okay, cool. You guys are the best. All right, sweet. Now I'm going to sign off, all right? And work on more, keep doing more work behind the scenes. Until next time, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.